All right, right back with you for another edition of Arizona Football Today. It's the Wildcats and Huskies this afternoon up in Seattle. I'm David Kelly, joined as always by Glenn Howell, U of A football class of 1985. Glenn, Seattle is never an easy place for an Arizona Wildcats team to go and play football. The weather, though, looks good today, so that's always an advantage. And I think another advantage, Glenn, is you've got a quarterback in Jayden de Laura who has gone to Seattle with another school but had success there. How important do you think that's going to be for this Arizona offense?
I think it's going to be a lot of confidence for Jayden to go in there. He's been in that hostile environment. He probably loves that environment up there. So he liked how he silenced them last year at Washington State. But it's going to be a great environment. I've played there before, and I think it's a fun place to play. And we're going to have to be steady on defense because you know what? 228 yards a game, that's what we're being given up on the ground. We got to make some stops.
Well, speaking of Jayden de Laura and going and winning in Seattle, I asked him back in camp not so much about playing Washington, but about winning a rivalry game, which is something that had not happened for a long time at Wazoo and is something that has not happened a lot here. I want you to hear what he had to say about that game in Seattle. Jayden, this is a program that has not beaten its rival in 5 years. I mean, one of your more memorable games last year was the Apple Cup and beating Washington. What can you tell your teammates about what it's like to be in a moment like that where fans are surrounding you, you're on top of your rival, you're stabbing a flag into the ground?
I will tell them, don't do that. Don't stab the flag in the middle of the field after the game. I'm not going to lie, I regret that.
And Glenn, another interesting stat I saw, there's only been 4 games now. Now, Jayden de Laura now 11-11 as a starting quarterback in college football. There's only been 4 games in which he has not thrown a touchdown pass. Only one of those games he's won. That was the game at Washington. He won it largely, Glenn, though, because he had a 100-yard rusher last year in Max Borgi.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to run the ball. I think we can run the ball against Washington. They were giving up the run against Arizona State, and then they had Bourguet come in, who is a walk-on who came in, and he's like the second, third string guy, comes in and did a fantastic job of beating them in the pass. And I think Jayden can be able to take advantage of that situation if we run the ball, because then they'll be up on the line of scrimmage trying to stop the run, and we can hit him deep.
Yeah, well, we got to throw props out to Trenton Bourguet from Marana High School, the Marana Tigers, who came in and threw 3 touchdown passes in that win for Arizona State. The Sun Devils lit up between Bourguet and Emory Jones, lit up that defense, Glenn, for 556 yards in 6 touchdowns. So definitely this is a game, I think, where Arizona can come in and throw the ball effectively, which is what they've done all season. So you're going to expect that. Some changes, though, with the run game, Glenn. Looks like Michael Wiley is a little dinged up coming out of the Oregon game. Jonah Coleman is going to get the start. This might be that game where Jed Fish at least can use his power backs as a tandem in this running game.
Yeah, the running game is going to be crucial for us to keep the pressure off Jayden so we can get him that play action, get him to the tight end, doing all those good things that we want to do in this pro-style offense. So I think it's going to be key that he is protected, that we're going to have some good pass protection, and we're going to have to run that ball down their throats, man, because I think we can run. I've been watching a lot of film of this team, and a lot of these things can be fixable. They're just technique and getting in the right position and missed assignments. If we could just shore that up, I think we can be able to be a efficient run game offense.
All right, I'm going to give you my one to watch on offense for the Huskies, my one to watch on defense. We'll start from my one to watch on defense. They're both we're number 2. Cam Bright, power of the portal for both of these guys. He's a transfer out of Pitt. He was the captain for the Panthers last year on a team that went to a bowl game. Just an outstanding leadership type of guy that they brought in here. And then on the offensive side, number 2, wide receiver Jalen Polk. He is one of 4 wide receivers who's had a 100-yard game, Glenn. He lit up Michigan State in that big win. 6 catches, 153 yards, and 3 touchdowns. But he's been largely silent in the last 3 games just 4 catches for this offense. But Michael Penix Jr. is a guy that's going to come out and throw it. Like I said, the top 2 passers in the league in Jaden Delord and Michael Penix Jr.
Yeah, Penix is really what scares me because he can hit you with your feet and then he can hit you with his arm. And he's going to be able to make some plays around the middle of the field, man, because he likes to hit over the middle. And we got to get on Penix, put some pressure on him, make sure get him off the spot, because if he's sitting there on his spot, he's going to tear us apart.
Yeah, well, and you look at this Washington offense, Glenn, and for the Arizona defense, there's going to be some changes on that side of the ball, and we kind of talked about that could be a possibility. DJ Warnell is going to get the start at what they call the star position as he comes in place of Gunnar Maldonado. And first of all, I want to talk a little bit about Gunnar Maldonado and his situation, Glenn. He's a guy, he's not a tackle guy. He's a coverage guy. So if Gunnar is struggling in coverage like he did in that game against Oregon, he's not going to be on the field. Where does he need to shore up, Gunnar Maldonado, in his play defensively?
I think it's just that he needs to just mentally get better, man, because he's got all the athletic ability. He has everything that you need to play that position. He's just got to be more mentally, not mental mistakes. Those are the things that kill you. Those are called coach killers. That's what it's called, because you have to be able to know your playbook, understand the coverages, and then understand when you have to force on run. When you have to force on run, when you sell out, and if you sell out, you got to make contact with the tackler.
Yeah, and he's got to be aggressive when he is selling out, Glenn, in the run. DJ Warnell is a man we mentioned, has made some plays on special teams. You talk about his punt coverage, and you look at the game. We talked about a few weeks ago the play he made at Colorado, but I thought the play he made against Oregon was an even better special teams tackle because the returner had the ball and was attempting to return it, and he limited the return yards there. So you want to see that tackling. In fact, let's hear from head coach Jed Fish about DJ Warnell.
DJ will start on Saturday. Comes in with a fantastic attitude every single day, huge smile on his face. If you look at where his initial impact came, it was his production on special teams. He kept making tackles, great effort on kickoff and punt coverage. And now he's beginning to show up there on the defensive side as well. And he should give us a nice big body in there and a very good cover guy.
So a guy that they definitely, like I said, like his tackling ability. Jed says he can play in coverage. That's where I think, to me, the question mark still lies.
Yeah, and we're going to find out because Penix is going to test those guys. They're going to look – we got to understand that when they see the changes in the lineup, that means that they were thinking that spot was somewhat deficient. Okay, and they're going to attack those deficiencies on our defense. And our deficiencies are in that position and also in the run game. So they're going to come at us and run the ball. I think they're going to do double teams all the way across and start just running power football against us. And they're going to try to do that, and we got to be able to say, no, stop the run. And we have to do it, because otherwise we're going to see this for here on out to the end of the season.
And Glenn, as good as these offenses are, it's probably going to be the team that plays the best defense that wins today.
Yeah, it is going to be the best defense. Defense is going to win this game today. I think it's going to be our defense making plays, getting 3 and outs. We have to, like I've been saying all season, shorten the game. That means we run the football, burn the clock a little bit, do a couple passes in there, and then score. And then we get 3 and outs. We do that, limit their possessions, don't let them get in rhythm. That's how Arizona's got to win games. We got to look at who we are and understand who we are, and we can't go in a track meet. That's not going to be us. We're not going to be in a track meet. So we have to understand that we have to be strategic in how we win our game.
All right, it is the Wildcats and the Washington Huskies in that afternoon 2:30 window on Pac-12 Network. We will be back to break that game down for you on Sunday night.